This video is about the six involved in the murder of Matthew Nicole and the killing of his dog Mako. Where are they at? Are they in prison? Where are they at in the legal process? Just what the hell is taking so damn long? The only person that served any time in prison for this so far yet is David Foreman-Taylor. Chase is in prison for his drug charges, but still has to answer for the charges for Matthew Nicole. Brian Vogel's still sitting in jail, along with Corey Cabanis and Anthony Davila. Stay tuned for a little bit more about each one. And we'll take a quick look at an email that was just sent. This is Tyler Graffing, and he's still out on bond. And I can make that assertion because of his last record at the Brevard County Clerk of the Court. And if I go down to the bottom, there's a certificate of service, and it lists the better bail. The better bail is a bond service in Brevard County, Florida. If I go up to the last time of this document, it's a notice to appear, scheduled March 28th of 2025 in Vieira at the courthouse. So he has done less than 1 day in jail, and he's still a free man. He has been sentenced to 3 years, but he's not going to prison yet because he has to testify against everybody in open court. This is David Foreman-Taylor, and he's now sitting incarcerated in a Florida prison for 15 years. 15 years is a heck of a sweetheart deal. Let's remember that he was given this sweetheart deal and immunity for his girlfriend Rachel Hall that was carrying his unborn child at the time. But he was given that sweetheart deal because he agreed to testify against all of his co-conspirators. Anyway, David now sits in prison, and you can see it's taken its toll on him. Boo fucking who. This is Brian Victor Vogel, and he's still sitting in jail right now. Court records indicated they were trying to move him from Seminole County to Brevard County. I'm not sure where he's at right now, but I do know that his records indicate that pertaining to this case and his drug case, they're all meeting on April 1st of 2025 for a status hearing. There are no more motions. So it's either agree to the plea agreement with the state's attorney's office or go to trial. I'll let you know if anything happens. This is Chase Harrison, and right now he's sitting in prison, but unrelated to the Matthew Nicole murder, and so he's got to answer for that on April 1st, 2025. But on January 13th, 2025, he had to answer for his drug charges. He had a lower level trafficking and a higher level trafficking charge for cocaine. And so the lower level one, he was given 15 years in prison with a 7-year minimum mandatory sentence. The fine alone in court costs was $115,311.45. Now, for the higher level trafficking charge, he was given a minimum mandatory sentence of 15 years in prison and a fine of $263,021. So right now, Chase is sitting in prison for a minimum mandatory of 15 years in prison because those charges, the trafficking and the higher level trafficking, are serving concurrently, meaning you do a day for one, counts as a day for the other. So he's got to do 15 years in prison. There's no way he can get out in a day less than that. Plus, together, the fines total, are you ready for this? $415,332.45. Chase has not answered for Matthew yet. That, like I said, will happen on April 1st, 2025. This is Anthony Davila, and right now he's sitting in the Brevard County Jail. He already had a trial, but it ended on a mistrial, and subsequently that led way to this next one. But let me tell you, his is going to be April 4th, 2025. He's already rejected a plea deal from prosecutors. It's not going to be good for him. He probably should have taken their first deal because right now he's facing life with no chance for parole. This is Corey Cabanis, and he was the trigger man that ended Matthew Nicole's life. Right now he sits in Seminole County Jail, and records indicate that his attorney filed to have him moved from Seminole County to Brevard. The next thing was a plea deal offered from the state, and then followed by a Nelson hearing where Cabanis was trying to get rid of his attorney, followed by yet another status hearing that the judge ordered that the grounds for a Nelson hearing, meaning to replace his attorney, was unfounded and that the attorney was fit for it. So now what's going to happen is, since they rejected the plea deal and he can't get out using a Nelson hearing to get a new attorney, in other words, it's just a stall tactic, he has to go to trial. And that is on April 4th, 2025. Occasionally I'll get an email about this case or something pertaining to it, and I got this one here with a couple PDFs attached to it. Basically, it runs down the timeline event of what happened with Chase selling drugs, being monitored, and this Jimmy Lee Mitchell. Then it makes a reference of look at the two PDFs, and it's talking about how the sheriff lost the records and something like that. Well, I looked at the PDFs. It's got nothing to do with the Matthew Nicole case or the drug case involved where they lost some files. What it does have is merely a motion to suppress by the defense attorney for this Mitchell guy. He's doing a very thorough defense, and he's trying to suppress that investigation techniques. If you look, line 29 cites, it says specifically a motion to suppress, and that's it. It says nothing to do with the Matthew Nicole case. I also noticed this comment about Chase robbing an old neighbor of $50,000 in cannabis, and it's being excluded in the case. Well, a year ago, I put up a piece of paper, and it said, "Do you know anything about the Matthew Nicole murder?" and along with the Proton email address. And nothing happened, and I listened, and anyway, so I was in the break room, and I happened to overhear some people talking. I didn't look to see who it was, but I heard them talking, saying, "Yeah, those." They happened to see the poster and they brought it up, and they were saying, "Hey, they know people that know people that know people," and they heard that this group was known for robbing drug dealers, and that one time they had a very large score of marijuana that they robbed from somebody, some high grade marijuana for over 100 pounds. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if people are just talking shit, but that seems to paint the case that this was their MO. I'm not sure if that's true, like I said, but it does make me raise an eyebrow about what the hell these losers were doing. A quick recap is the only person that is in prison for the murder of Matthew Nicole is David Foreman-Taylor. Tyler Graffing has been sentenced to 3 years, but he's out on bond till he testifies against everybody in the Matthew Nicole murder. Chase Harrison is in prison, but that's for the drug charges, and he's got to answer for Matthew Nicole's murder on April 1st, 2025, along with Brian Vogel. Anthony Davila and Corey Cavanis, I think they're going to stand trial on April 4th, 2025. So that's all I have right now. If you have any information that's been published or want to talk about it, please send me an email. Thank you.